Allow them to show themselves.
Oh, this way. Come this way. This way.
Very long greetings from the Royal Majesty.
Let me stand up for you. Very good. Yes. Thank you. Don't worry. I'm not. Not at all. I'm not. God bless you. Take care. All right.
Alright, yes, we are live and direct for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court hearing. Yes, we are ready to give you all the updated information as it happen for Federal High Court in Abuja. So wherever you are, wherever you're joining us from today, please make sure you pay attention. Make sure that you follow us back to back, because we'll be giving you back to back news and information on all the matter trending and happening in Federal High Court. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court hearing, has resumed again today, tomorrow for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and we are all out. In as much as we are hopeful and praying that at the end of all these illegitimate court hearing, freedom will come to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because that is the most important thing. We know that the court hearing is illegitimate. It is illegal. Let's face reality. It is illegal. And why will I keep on speaking about the illegality of Nnamdi Kanu's court hearing? First of all, Nnamdi Kanu, in every legal way you want to see it, has no business being tried in zoo. First of all, they claim that he committed the crime in the United Kingdom. So why are you trying him in Abuja? If truly he committed the crime, in fact, let us even start from that. Why are you trying him in Abuja? That is the first thing first, before we now go into other issues concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. How was he arrested? Thank God you saw in the last court hearing how the second witness, BBB, was not able to even give some certain clarity on his arrest. Abduction rather, not arrest. He was abducted. They denied the fact that they had no hands in his abduction. So how did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu find himself in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom? These and so many other questions and issues coming up on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court hearing today. But we are here. to always debunk the lies they will be throwing. In as much as the court hearing is going to be a tight one with tight security, as the case may be, the DSS officials everywhere and all that, doing their illegitimate and illegal thing as usual, not allowing certain people to have access to the court, especially those who their names are on the list. Media will be restricted also. The only media on ground is, coming directly from the zoo. So whatever they give to the people, then the people will take it that way. But the fact is that at the end, we will be giving you the information on how it is happening live and direct in the court hearing. But before we go on, let me refresh your memory concerning this court trial so that you will understand what we are dealing with today. Most of you might not know. So I will be playing a video, of everything that concerns today's court hearing so that you understand the importance of today's court hearing. As the case may be, we are hoping and praying that come what may, freedom will return to the indigenous people of Biafran leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a man who did not commit any crime whatsoever known by law. Please enjoy this video and make sure you share to as many groups and platforms as possible.
Especially someone who is innocent. So the zoo is aware of the cost of making such mistake of taking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to UK to obtain UK court authority to try him in the zoo. They removed it. They removed where the broadcast was made. They amended the charges and removed it when they had Mazi Nnamdi Kanu discussing with his lawyers of how he's going to defend himself. Right? So when the first POA, the first PWAAA, a witness said that he was among the DSS members that arrested him in Golden Tulip, and the evidences they got was only microphone. That completely made caricature of every idiocy of the zoo government against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Only that first evidence has destroyed everything in the favor against the zoo and in the favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Are you paying attention? Now, the second witness. So why are you masking them? Why are you? You don't have to mask them anyway. The DSS thought the zoo, well, when Fulani Goro eaters are in charge, what else do you expect? So the witness are Mago Fam Manazo, but this is just the headline. So now, according to the headline, which no instrument of terrorism found on Nnamdi Kanu, DSS witness tells court. So why are you then trying him? Since there is no any instrument of terrorism found on him, why have you kept him for the past 5 years? Plus another 2 years between 2015 and 2017. Why did you keep him? Why have you kept him? Why have you been suffering him? When remember the case is suffering, the case is answering is terrorism and treasonable felony. I think they no longer talk about treason because you cannot label me you cannot label me treasonable offense. You cannot label a treasonable offense against me when I am not planning to usurp the president. Yes, treasonable offense is when somebody tries to commit an act of treason by trying to forcefully remove the power that be, the ruling power, the president. As a matter of fact, the person who accused Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of treason is somebody who committed treason, which is Buhari. Buhari committed treason in 1983 by forcefully removing the democratically elected president, Shehu Shagari, and Alex Ekwueme. These are histories, things that happened. Yes, that is treasonable offense. And to make the matter worse, he also, after usurping the democratically elected government, which is pure treason, yet he didn't rule well. At least the reason why people are standing in solidarity or standing behind Traoré of Burkina Faso is because the whole world knows he committed treason, but he is transforming the country into a better, a better state, into becoming, for the citizens to, to realize that they are really human beings. Because under the management of whoever that was there, the democratic president of France in Burkina Faso, the people were living like animals, just as the way the zoo, the people in the zoo here are living like animals. No human being is living in the zoo. There is no any human being that is living in the zoo. Even if you like B.O.B. Cubana, if you like, after all, E-Money never expected to be arrested. He was arrested the other day. Somebody who claimed to be as big as E-Money was arrested. Obi Cubana can still be arrested anytime soon. The other idiot that called himself a Cubana chief priest was once arrested a few months ago. So anybody living in the zoo can never be considered as a human being. So Traoré is making the citizens to believe, to see and believe and understand the benefit of living as a human being, not living as an animal. So that's why his treasonable offense can be easily forgiven by the citizens. Easily forgiven. Now, the Buhari time committed treasonable offense against Shehu Shagari's government, yet he returned the zoo into the zoo. He returned Nigeria into the zoo that is meant to be. That's why he can never be forgiven. And this same person had the guts to accuse Mazi Nnamdi Kanu after committing an act of kidnap and extraordinary rendition in Kenya to Nigeria. He had the guts to label him, a terrorist and treasonable, felony. Now that one is gone. Nobody is talking about treason again because it is in the open that he has not committed any crime of treasonable offense. So they are talking about terrorism, and the DSS witness has shot them in the foot by saying that they did not find any instrument of terrorism. Why won't you leave him immediately? They say PW1 further disclosed that he did not find any instrument of violence. I didn't see this one. Biafrans, we are winning. We are winning. We are winning. And remember, this is a certified witness of the DS. I hope they don't assassinate him once he's leaving the court. Because I believe that this person must be no. Maybe this one is an Igbo man. This one might be a Yoruba or not Yoruba. This one might be an Hausa man. This one might be an Hausa man. I wish we can see him to save. Let's continue first. He said PW1 further disclosed that he did not find any instrument of violence. It's no longer terrorism, but violence on the lady with Kanu, and did not consider her company as facilitating terrorism. Again, and Akukwaka here. This headline alone is okay for us to be happy. And Akukwaka, and I share this broadcast. Ọ bụkwa ndị mmadụ na-ege ntị here. Ọ bụkwa ndị mmadụ nọ here na-ege ntị. Now let's continue. I will defeat you in your own court, said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu many years ago. Now, the trial of the embattled leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, resumed on Friday before Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja, with the cross-examination of principal witness who said he did not find any instrument of terrorism on Kanu. The zoo is disappointed. Tinubu is disappointed that their own witness has shot them in the foot. So why did you call a witness? Excuse me. Why did you call a witness in the first place? The court had granted the request of the federal government for witnesses to testify behind the screens. Why the prosecution counsel is Adeboyoga Awomolo-san, a former Attorney General of the Federation. Kanu Agabi led the defense team. An operative of the Department of State Services, known simply as AAA, appeared as PW1. When AAA was asked if he was the officer conducting the interview in the video played in court, he said that 5 officers were in the room. That is not the question. And that he was one of them. Okay, fine. Very fantastic. So that means he is speaking out of experience, out of eyewitness. He was there. Not that he thought. Not that he thought. He's speaking out of experience based on what he knows. Now, he said his role in the investigation was limited to arresting the defendant, obtaining his statement, and escorting him to Abuja for onward investigation. On the items presented in court, AAA was asked if there was any which on the face of it was offensive, and he said no. This is the cross-examination. Remember, I told you on the 29th. Now I have a question. I told the so-called witness. Now I have I also told the second witness that it is better you withdraw, because this first witness will not be able to contain the questions that will be asked to him. Now, when asked if he had analyzed any of the items recovered from him, he said he analyzed only his phone. Oh, so unu welu phone ya? Unu sees the phone ya? And now let's continue. He said the phone was in evidence, though there was no analysis in evidence because they considered it immaterial to the case. Today I'm going to behave like a kid in order to mock the idiocy of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. Now, when asked, do you agree that in the 10 years since you confiscated these items, many of them have lost their use? AA said yes. AAA was asked whether there is a record of the items he claimed the DSS returned to the defendant. He said yes, but noted that he didn't personally keep the record. Oh, he lose go now. Today, Busorom Chia. Today, Busorom Chia. He lose go because I don't know, or I am not aware. In fact, in a simple term, ignorance of the law is not an excuse in the court of competent jurisdiction. Ignorance of law is never an excuse in the court of law. So if you say you didn't keep the record, he lose. So what else are you going to use to try him, the defendant? You have lost the case. The DSS, the zoo entirely have lost the case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't think if the judge has any other thing to judge here, because the case is over. Now, PW1 further disclosed that he did not find any instrument of violence on the lady with Kanu. At least I am satisfied that Channels Television of all evil in the world is the one who made this, publication today. Few minutes ago, it just landed on my news desk. You see that there was no any evidence of violence on the lady with Kanu and did not consider her company as facilitating terrorism. So, moreover, this lady of 18 could be a hotel, attendant. Kifa na ndị na-arụ ndị manya hotel, ndị na-arụ na hotel, ma ndị manya hotel, ndị na-arụ na hotel, ndị na-serve guest. Kifa na-akpọ Fabuko. Kedu ife a na-akpọ ndị na-serve na guest? I want to see the comment. Hotel attend? No, I don't think he's attendant. Kifa na-akpọ ndị na-serve na hotel. No, kwa ndị na-ege m ntị here. Is my voice coming out? Is my voice coming out, please? What do you call hotel? I don't know if it's attendance or whatever. Kifa na-akpọ ndị na-arụ na hotel, ndị na-abịa settle guest. Yeah, no, dịkwa ka ndị itibọlịbụ ibe m na-ege m ntị. Ndị itibọlịbụ. Hotel waiters, I think waiters ndị na-arụ na club. Ọ dị ka ndị itibọlịbụ ibe m na-anara aga hotel bụ ndị na-ege m ntị. Waitress. Ndị na-amara anya hotel like me. Ndị ezigbo mmadụ. Chai! Ndị ezigbo mmadụ ibe m. Ọ dị ka ọfa na-ege m ntị here. Ndị ezigbo mmadụ ibe m na-anara aga na-enwere ifefa ji na. But many of you here are travelers. Of course, that one I know. I'm very sure about it. Because I know that people are coming. Room service. Amy Sammy said room service. I'm not sure it's waiters. Waiters are those who work in the club. That one I know. Hotel attendant. I'm not sure she's attendant because they use it for mortuary. Mortuary attendant. Okay. Room service, fine. Let's use that one. I think that one is more better. Room service. Room service. So now the woman in question, I can beat my chest and say that the woman in question is a room service who works in that same hotel. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, what have I pressed? What have I clicked? Oh my God. Oh my God, just hold on, I'm going to bring it back. Somebody said reception. Now many reception bundi na receptionist. Bundi na reception. They receive guests my but and when you arrive hotel, the first person you are going to meet after security is the receptionist. He's the one who is going to. Somebody said he's a hotelier, a waitress. Anyway, I'm happy because we are winning the case. So whatever. Let me try and bring back the sorry, just a moment. Just a moment. Let me try and bring back yeah. Here we come. Just a moment. I don't know what I pressed, and then the news disappeared. All right. I've seen it, so we are going back to it. Share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. I need everyone here. I need everyone here. Share the broadcast, share the broadcast. I need everyone here. We must continue because we are winning. Now, according to the PW1, I'm trying to see where we were. PW1 further disclosed that he did not find any instrument of violence on the lady with Kanu and did not consider her company or facilitating terrorism. So, let's continue here. When Agabi asked the DSS witness whether he found any instrument of terrorism on the defendant, he said no. Replying to a question about whether he, AAA, contacted anyone who the defendant mentioned as working with him, he said the defendant didn't mention any names, adding that he did not know whether other people were standing terrorism trial with the defendant in this case. So nah, onye na-asa the drink. Hey, is the zoo is finished. I am telling you, the zoo is gone. Because after this case, after the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the zoo will never remain the same again. That is going to be the total balkanization of the damnable Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. It's good that this thing is happening and the whole world is seeing it. The zoo has become a mockery of itself in the international community. I'm telling you, it is over. I don't know which I saw a certain news yesterday that one man in Trump's cabinet, either a minister or whatever, is resigning today because of a mere allegation, a mere scandal, which is not even proven in the court of competent jurisdiction. The man is resigning today. I saw that news yesterday. This is the minds of people who are civilized. But you have somebody like Hope Uzodinjo who have been accused of all kinds of criminality or criminal activities. He's still the governor till today. You have somebody like Babio, the so-called Senate president, who has been accused of, sexually abusing Natasha. He's still Senate president till today. Even before that case, we saw on a camera, on a national television, where the same Babio was telling other senators that they are going to receive a lot. This one is no longer accusation. This one is not accusation. This one happened on a national TV. I'm sure all of you remember. It was never enough for Babio to resign as a Senate president, even as a senator, not to talk of being Senate president. To resign as a senator, it was never enough. In a developed world with developed minds, you will never ever remain a politician till today. Never again, never ever again would you remain a politician in that country, because you have committed an act of, abuse of office. Abuse of office. and you will never ever serve again as a politician. It's over for you. You are done. On a national television, when you were not aware that the microphone were still on, you were telling your senators after section that they are going to receive a lot just for them to go holiday. Just for holiday, they are going to receive a lot. And the microphone is still on, and then Yegi sign is, oh, you no, you are going to receive email. Who are you fooling? Onyeki nagori. Onyeki nagori. So you have taken over 200 million buffoons, or you have taken over 200 million, monkeys for a ride. You have taken them for a ride. Over 200 million monkeys. You have taken them for a ride. Even though they cannot bite, but at least they can jump. Yet you took them for a ride. Hey, you are going to receive email.